In this part, you will hear a teacher giving a lesson about moles to a biology class. For questions 11 to 18, listen and complete the students' notes. Write no more than 3 words for each answer. Questions 19 and 20 must be answered with a cross in a box. If you change your mind about an answer, put a line through the box and then mark your new answer with a cross. 1 mark will be awarded for each correct answer.
Okay, everyone, settle down now, please. So, in today's class, I want to continue our work on animals and their environments. There's an animal called the mole. You've heard of it, haven't you? So to start, we're going to look at some facts about these amazing underground creatures. Please, can you listen and make some notes about them? Did you know that worldwide there are approximately 20 species of mole and that they live in parts of the globe ranging from Asia to Europe to North America? These small mammals, the European mole, for example, is about 12 to 15 centimeters long, with the females being slightly smaller than the males, are pretty tough creatures. If they run out of space or food, they simply dig more tunnels. They can move huge quantities of earth in a very short space of time. So moles are pretty small, but they come in different shapes and sizes, the smallest one being the American shrew mole, about 5 centimeters, and the largest being the Russian desman. Whatever their size, though, they have a lot in common. As you know, they generally travel underground, spending their relatively short lifespan, on average 3 to 4 years in the wild, longer in captivity where they are protected from predators, in a network of tunnels that they dig with their powerful front claws. They have worked out a way to survive, even though most of the time they live in complete darkness. One feature of a mole's behaviour is that it is constantly active. Most of the time they will be busy digging away under the surface. They don't dig for nothing, though. They are almost always hunting for their favourite food, worms, although they do also live on different kinds of insects. If they stop eating, they soon run into problems. Scientists have found out something quite unusual. A mole will store worms that it has bitten but not killed, keeping them fresh until they need them. They've come up with an explanation for how they do this. Apparently, mole saliva contains a toxic substance that paralyzes the worms so they cannot move. Evidence can back up these findings quite easily. For example, one mole was found to be storing about 1,000 worms. This may sound like a lot, but moles need to eat more or less continuously in order to survive. Unfortunately, we don't have time or moles to carry out an experiment in class to test this, but scientists have found out that a mole can starve to death within only 24 hours of eating as much as it is able to. In other words, they cannot store their food like most other species, including humans, can. Getting enough food may be a problem, but moles do have a huge advantage when it comes to breathing underground. They are able to tolerate higher levels of carbon dioxide than most other mammals. They can actually reuse the air they have just breathed out by breathing it in again. This means that they are perfectly adapted to underground living. Of course, all of those tunnels they make and the large piles of soil they dig up do alter the nature of the soil, and a lot of people see them as a nuisance. They often leave piles of earth on the surface, so you can imagine why many gardeners dislike them. Farmers too are concerned about damage to growing plants. Although we're just going to study moles and their environment in this class, it's nice to remember some of the mole characters from children's literature. There's Kenneth Grahame's classic story, The Wind in the Willows, with a mole as one of the main characters, which is such a wonderful description of mole's underground home. Duncton Wood is another story featuring moles, as is The Animals of Farthing Wood. I'd say it's not hard to understand the appeal of these unusual creatures. They're small, they're cute, and there's something very lovable about them. Don't you think?
Now listen again and check your answers.